issues with traffic. Obviously, we can't see any cars where our eyes can see right now. But again, crews are still on the ground here. They've been going back and forth. We don't know much about what exactly happened. We do know that this plane might have been trying to land at New Bedford Regional Airport. State police say that it could have been trying to land there, but the pilot did not appear to provide the airport with a flight plan. They also don't know how many people were on board. I did reach out to state police just a few moments ago to see if we had any updated information about how many people are on board or if anyone was injured, if there are any fatalities. They say this information is not yet available, but we'll be here throughout the morning keeping you updated, and I'm sure this evening as well. For now, live in Dartmouth, Katie Benoit, NBC 10 News.
Thank you very much, Katie. We're going to check in with Kristen now. You've been tracking the commute since the early morning during the Today Show, with both sides of the highway now shut down. So she's going to tell us now the conditions and maybe how to get around this for those who are traveling in that stretch, Kristen.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's been a messy morning this morning with the rain, slick conditions, wet weather out there. Our most recent update from MassDOT is stating that the area of exit 22 on 195, both with your eastbound and westbound travel lanes, are closed. Fonts Corner Mall Road is the popular exit many folks take, say, if you're getting over to the Dartmouth Mall area. Right now, we are seeing very slow travel along Route 6. Route 6 is where we have the TJ Maxx, the Chipotle, the Dartmouth Mall, and it's very busy there. A lot of drivers opting to take Route 6 right now because we've got 195 east and westbound travel lanes closed in that area. Now, if you are heading westbound in the area of Route 140, you are going to hit some backups there. We're moving at just about 12 miles per hour. This is an option or an area that I would recommend getting off of the highway, getting off of 195 if you're heading westbound, because right after this region, you're going to hit some backups, some slick spots. Also, we're moving at about 42 miles per hour if you are headed eastbound. I'd recommend getting off at the Reed Road exit. I know we've got a Dunkin' in that region once you hit Route 6, and that is an alternate route for you to get off at the Reed Road exit before hitting any delays or backups on 195 eastbound there. Mario, Tamara.
All right. Thank you, Kristen. And of course, it's a weather alert, of course, for today as well, but the very strong winds out there and heavy rain that's been moving through. So, it's still unclear what factor weather may have played into this, because it's obviously just happening and the investigation has not even really begun yet.
Yeah, it's too soon, but like you mentioned, we know that the rain is very heavy outside. The wind has been whipping. It's been like this for hours. Of course, this crash happened. We were alerted to it around 8:30 this morning, a little bit before that. So we do want to check in with Storm Team 10 meteorologist AJ Mastrangelo. AJ, the weather around that time, 8 to 8:30, what was it like?
Yeah, so we're seeing lots in the way of the wind and the rain across the region as this nor'easter has been barreling the region over the past 24 hours. Now, from 8 to 8:30, these are the exact conditions we were seeing at New Bedford Regional Airport. The winds were sustained between 15 and 22 miles per hour. So that's a very strong wind to be sustained in the first place. Winds were gusting at 36 miles per hour. So not the most potent wind by any means, but definitely not good conditions to be flying in the first place. The present weather we had for that entirety of the duration there was light rain with also some mist coming on down at the airport. And visibility was also low as well, with the rain coming on down, the low clouds, 1.75 to 2.5 miles was our maximum visibility we did see there at New Bedford Regional Airport. We can kind of go back and see exactly where some of these things actually did occur. This is the runway here at New Bedford Regional Airport. The accident here right on 195, so potentially making an input there. We have these northeast winds that could have been affecting any of that flight's path as it got closer and closer to New Bedford, or whether or not it was leaving it. Either way, some very gusty winds we were seeing. Now, in terms of the rain, it was not the heaviest rain of the system that we did have falling during that 8 to 8:30 time frame, but as you can see with our 4-hour radar loop, we've been seeing a persistent light to moderate rainfall falling through the New Bedford area all along 195 up through Fall River as well. Now, if we take a look at some of our wind reports too across the region, this might have been a 36 mile per hour wind at the ground level, but we know the higher up in the atmosphere you go, the stronger those winds could be. So some of these strongest winds did mix down for other parts of the region. Wellesley, Block Island did gust to 64, 65 miles per hour. We could have actually been seeing some of those stronger winds aloft in our atmosphere. So Nantucket, Buzzards Bay, Quonset Point all have gusted above the 40 mile per hour mark as well. And while there's been 2 inches of rain falling through here in the New Bedford area the past 24 hours, that wouldn't have a big impact. It would be more of that present weather that could be to blame for this plane crash. But of course, Mario, Tammy, as we've been been saying. A little bit too early to kind of put those pieces together. That's some of the weather information I have for you. Of course, this nor'easter could be impacting not just the plane crash itself, but some folks traveling in and around the region early this morning. So I'll send it back to you. That's the latest we have here for your Storm Team 10 weather alert and how it may have impacted, unfortunately, that plane crash.
All right. Thank you, AJ. And of course, a reminder, both sides of the highway are shut down. This is new video into us right now from the scene. This is from Matthew, sent us in. So obviously you can see it right in the median there, the plane on its side. And as Mass State Police reported, after the crash, it caused just a ball of fire right in the middle of the highway. You could see just how slow the traffic is moving along that side.
Right, and you can't see it in this specific video, but there is also a car that looks like it was part of this crash as well. Again, this is on I-195 in Dartmouth. As Mario mentioned, there are lane closures on both sides of the highway by exit 22. So if you are just joining us, that is the breaking news that we are following this morning. We want to get out back live to Katie Benoit. She's been as close to the scene as she can get right now. Obviously, a lot of closures as we were talking about. We're going to go back out to her in just a minute so she can give you a live look at everything that is happening. But, you know, we've been talking about the rain and the wind, and AJ just gave us his little forecast there of the time this happened between 8 and 8:30. And we know that the wind gusts were 36 miles per hour, so I'm sure that could have played a factor.
Exactly. Let's head out to Katie Benoit. She's near the scene, as near as she can get at this hour to let us know what's going on. Katie?
Yeah, hey Mario, we're here on this overpass over 195. We're going to give you a look at this plane crash again. You can see the crash is in the middle of the median. It also appears that a silver car is also involved. Again, this happened around 8:15 this morning. State police say that the plane crashed and caused a fire. Now, we don't know how many people were on board, if there was any injuries. We did reach out to state police. I just reached out and they told me they still don't have any information. Again, it's believed that this airplane was trying to land possibly at New Bedford Regional Airport. And again, there is no traffic moving here on both sides of 195. You can see the first responders going in and out of that wreckage site. There are still a lot we're working to learn. And I did speak with one man who was driving on the highway earlier today, and this is what he had to say.
All right, I guess we're going to hear that coming up momentarily, the interview that Katie did. In the meantime, we want to just remind you that both sides of the highway 195 shut down in the area of exit 22, which is Faunt's Corner Road. So even though it is a holiday, it is a very busy travel section of the highway, so it's going to definitely impact drivers out there. So let's head out to Kristen and see how things are shaping up traffic-wise in terms of the commute, people driving through, and how they can get around this. Kristen?
Yeah, so if you are planning on driving through Dartmouth, headed off to New Bedford or vice versa this morning, you're going to want to plan to avoid 195 in the areas of exit 19, over by exit 22 as well. That's the Faunt's Corner Mall Road exit. A lot of people take that exit to get to the Dartmouth Mall. Those closures are expected to be in place for several hours today. We've got the Dartmouth Mall over here, Marisol's Cafe over here. If you're familiar with Dartmouth, familiar with Route 6, we are seeing some shifts here, some slowdowns here. A lot of people opting to take Route 6 instead of 195 east and westbound travel lanes this morning, which of course is smart because we are closed there right now. A lot of the exits that are closed right now on 195 east and westbound travel lanes, people take those exits to get to a lot of the things, a lot of the businesses we have going on in Dartmouth along Route 6 there. So Route 6 is an alternate route for you. Right now, Purchase Street in New Bedford, that's where we're already seeing those westbound backups starting to grow. So things are surely backing up here when it comes to your westbound travel lanes. A little while ago, just about 10 minutes ago, drivers could make it at least to Route 140. Now I'm recommending getting off in the areas of Route 18, I should say, over by Purchase Street in New Bedford now instead. So over by Faunt's Corner Mall Road, we are seeing some slowdowns as well as drivers go to pick up Route 6 in that area. Hathaway Road before Route 6 as well. That's over by the jewelry shop there at that busy intersection over by the Mobile. We are seeing some pretty hefty slowdowns in that region as well. Tamara, Mario.
All right, Kristen, thank you. And we do want to get back out to some more video right here. We just got this viewer video from Debbie. This is from the overpass. You can see that silver car in the median right there. We believe that this car was involved in the plane crash. Again, this is in Dartmouth, right by exit 19 on I-195 West. Both sides of the highway are closed right now. You'd have to imagine this is shortly after firefighters got there and started to douse the flames, because you can see that white smoke pluming into the air, but you don't see any visible flames, which we have seen in other videos. So this right now still a very active scene as the investigation gets underway.
Yes, based on the serial number that we've obtained or from the scene of the plane, it is, according to the FAA, registered to an Easton Air LLC based out of Middletown. Again, state police in Massachusetts saying they believe they were attempting to land at New Bedford Regional Airport. Where exactly they were coming from is unclear, but it may have been a Rhode Island-based plane heading to the south coast to land in New Bedford. So, of course, we'll be staying on top of this here on NBC 10, both on air and online and all of our social media channels as well, with any updates that we have here on this continuing coverage. Again, a plane crash in the middle of the highway I-195 in Dartmouth, which is now shut down in both directions.
Yes, and we'll continue your programming right now, but of course head to our website, turnto10.com, or the NBC 10 News app for all of the breaking updates on the story.
This has been an